Hello and welcome back to The Suck. So, as you know, my name is Cyberzoot. I am hosting this UNM event, and I'd like to explain the draft rules as well as give some of my draft predictions. So, this is how the draft will work. So, the draft will be held August 15th at 6 p.m. EST, or whatever one of those is your times. I believe that's everybody in this. And that is on a Saturday. If people are not available at those times on Saturday, I should be able to move it to the Sunday at a different time, but just let me know. Each player will then, of course, be given 3 draft picks to end up with a team of 3 Skylanders. You are allowed to trade before and after the draft, not during. Trades must be equal, no 2-for-1s, and they must be approved by me. So you could trade a Skylander for a Skylander, or a pick for a pick, or 2 picks for 2 picks, whatever. During the draft, you will have 2 minutes to make your draft pick. If you do not make a pick within the time, you will be skipped, and the next person in line with the pick after you will then be on the clock to make their pick. And then after they go, we will go back to you, and hopefully you will have a pick by then. Or else you'll just be skipped again, and that's how that will be. A Skylander may only be chosen twice, once on each path. You must have all upgrades. And a player may not have 2 of the same Skylander. So say somebody has Sunburn, they can't have Sunburn on Flame Path and Teleport Path. You can only have 1. So this is how I will be running the draft, I think. I will be streaming the official draft board on my Twitch channel. I'll be in a private Discord call that everyone will have access to so that they can talk to me during the draft and talk during stream, whatever, if they so choose to. You will either tell me in this call, verbally, what character you're going to take with your current pick, or if you don't feel like being in a call, or you're unable to attend or whatever, you can DM me privately and I will announce your pick there. I have a solution for if you're unable to do it at all. If you send me a list with 8, 9, 10 characters or whatever, I can do your draft for you, and I'll just pick 3 of those 10 characters that you DM me. Hopefully they won't all get chosen. Use your brain to not pick the 10 best characters, because you won't get the 10 best characters, you know? And then please do not DM me until you are on the clock. That will make it a lot easier for me. If I'm expecting a message from Scavenger, I don't want to be getting a message from 5 other people. It'll make it a lot more difficult on me. I think that's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. And then I think what a lot of people need help with is how a snake draft works. So here I think I've got a pretty straightforward visual of how something might happen in this draft. This super simplified. So here we got Scavenger, Trash Guy Bob, Cool Kid, and Boombringer. Player 1, Scavenger. Player 2, Bob. Player 3, Cool Kid. Player 4, Boombringer. So, first round, Scavenger. They have the first pick. They'll take Sunburn, or whoever they pick. Bob, second pick. They'll pick Stump Smash, or whoever. Cool Kid. They'll pick Drobot, or whoever. Boombringer, fourth pick. Prism Break, or whoever. Then, round 2, it loops. So then Boombringer, he'll pick twice in a row. You can see that because he's at the end. He takes Gilgrunt, or whoever. Then Cool Kid will pick again. He can pick the other path of Prism Break if he wants. That's how this works. And then it would be Bob. And then Scavenger would pick Stealth Elf 8 or whoever is available that he wants. But then he'd pick again after that. He'll take Spyro, or, you know, except you know what I'm gonna say. Whatever. It's pretty straightforward. It's not rocket science. So I'm gonna go into a bit of a character analysis, which what I think Skylanders are gonna be succeeding at, who might go where in the draft, kind of my predictions as to who might be considered good and go early on the first round, or who might go later. Now, this is all just, of course, my opinion. I haven't tested anything, haven't played as, like, any of these characters, basically. Going off of word of mouth, what I've heard from other people. Don't take it too literally, please. Just kind of... It's supposed to be a fun thing. So first off, we got Whirlwind. Whirlwind's so good. So good. Nothing wrong with them. Super fast. They got a speed glitch that allows them to move faster. They have every skip you could possibly think of. They got insane DPS. Such a simple character. And for that reason, they're banned. Whirlwind's not allowed to be in this tournament at all. Alright, so let's get into who the first character will actually be. So I think Sunburn is probably going to go 1-1, my projected 1-1 top pick. Of course, being his top path, the flamethrower path. Sunburn is a pretty quick character with his dash if you don't get his soul gem. He's got a lot of good skips. Problem with his skips, very inconsistent. If you don't get it right away, it might lose you time if you just want to do it. So he can be very inconsistent there, but he has really high potential, high risk, high reward. His combat, really good. He does a lot of damage with his top path. He's got good mobility to get around and dodge. I think he's probably going to be a very safe first pick. Only problem, he's a little difficult with those skips. If you can't get him, you might screw up. He doesn't have the most health. He's very good, but high risk, high reward, top 2 character. Practice makes perfect with him. I think he's an easy first overall pick. So next here, I got Stealth Elf. I think Stealth Elf will probably end up going second overall. Protected the 1-2 on their top path with the blades and stuff. Stealth Elf is easily one of the fastest base characters in terms of movement speed and mobility, with her dash roll, as well as just being a super fast character. Stealth Elf's got some pretty basic skips. They can do Throne Room, they can do something in Chapter 1, do Gate Skip, they can do a whole bunch of stuff. Super fast character. They also can self-heal, which is massive. Being able to self-heal means whenever you're not in combat, you're slowly regaining health. So over time, you'll get to take an extra hit every level. Super fast character. Not too difficult either. Not super simple, but not difficult. I think Stealth Elf is a very safe pick to be here. Alright, so third overall, I think, is going to be Stump Smash. Now, Stump Smash is not a very speedy character. He's very slow base movement speed, but he's got a lot of potential in his combat, skips, and he's a very simple character. So, if you go his top path, he's got his one combo that allows him to dash forward a bit. He can do a lot of skips with that combo. However, if you take that combo, his combat becomes significantly worse. Now, if you take his nut path, he gets the dual like machine gun nuts that he can shoot, and that's very good in combat. It gives aggro, and it's kind of like, do you take his top path for skips, bottom path for damage and consistency? It's a really he's very iffy. So I see him easily his bottom path for consistently going probably third overall if I had to guess, while I see his top path also probably being a late first round pick if another character is not chosen before him. So I think very easily Stump Smash is probably going to be very sought after in this. Okay, so next, going fourth, I think I'll have Drobot probably next on his top path lasers. Drobot is extremely fast with his afterburner ability, being able to go through most regular just movement areas super fast. He has really good skips, as he's able to basically skip the entirety of Chapter 6 with a very simple tech where you just go through the moat. However, the problem is when you're in that, he turns like a boat, so you can't do quick turns when in afterwards. You have to turn it off, turn it back on, which isn't that bad, but can sometimes get annoying. Not really that big of an issue. He's a super good character. Not too difficult to use, as you kind of just run around, shoot people. His combat pretty straightforward, can be a little inconsistent here and there, I found, well, when using Blade Path specifically, but I think he'll probably be a very safe character to take. I see him going probably 4th overall with his top path. I can also see his bottom path being a late 3rd round choice, but we'll see. Right, going 5th in my mock draft, but will probably most likely be chosen earlier, is I have Prison Break. Prison Break is one of the slowest characters movement-wise. Doesn't have any skips because of that. However, where he makes up for in his slowness is his combat. He does so much damage, super consistent damage, and he also has aggro. So while he's doing damage, he's not able to get hit. This makes him a super easy and safe character choice. He's good on both his top and bottom path. I see his top path going before his bottom path, but both of them are very easily could be top 5 picks. He is such a safe choice. He has such good damage. Like, I can't say enough good things about him. He's such a safe pick. He's so good. His only problem is his speed. If you plan to use him late, you hope that you win with him. Because if you don't win with him, then you're probably going to lose. And even if you do win, you still might lose. Because he's just slow. He won't be a fast one, but he'll be a safe, guaranteed win. Alright, so next up, I got Zook going 6th overall. Zook is a very straightforward character. He's got aggro, range, and just kind of all you need in a character with that. Not too difficult, really good combat, very basic skips, not the best movement speed, but he's solid on both paths. Much better on bottom path, but top path's also pretty good. He's very consistently because of this. Zook's also got this neat thing in the Chapter 9 arena, where he's able to kind of off-screen one of the troll shooter guys. It'll show up in the footage here in the corner. But he is so he's just pretty straightforward. He's a safe character. I easily see his bottom path going probably top 6, maybe a little later than that, but definitely first round pick. I can also very easily see his bottom path also being a first round pick, probably later because it's not quite as good, but it's also a very safe pick. I think Zook is a very straightforward pick here, and a super awesome character that you could choose. Alright. Then, of course, I think we got Slam Bam easily going top 8. I think he's going probably 7th overall, if I had to guess. Slam Bam, super simple character. Don't have too much to say about him. He's got freeze, where he can freeze guys. That freeze, when he freezes somebody, it then causes aggro, so you can stay safe. It does pretty solid damage. Very strong late game because he's a water Skylander. They get all the elemental boosts in all the important fights. Chapter 14 Duelist Bomber fight. All the way to the end, elemental boost. Of course, at the end of 15 in that big fight, if you mess up ball strats, water Skylander easily can get you through those last couple fights. And then Chaos, he can carry his water element through the entire level, so you should hopefully be on high enough health when you get to the boss fight. He's a very strong late game. Super safe option. Aggro. He's got a good dash. Doesn't really have any skips. Solid combat. Not too difficult. Kind of in between. But I think he's a very safe pick here. Alright, I think last top 8 character, probably nobody else's bottom pass get taken. It's definitely got to be Hex. Hex, not a super fast character speed-wise or skips-wise. However, I think you gotta count this as a skip. She can absolutely melt boss fights. As you can see, she absolutely destroys Chompy Mage, she destroys Drill X, she destroys Chaos. So much time saved there. Any big HP bosses go down so much faster. However, she is the definition of a glass cannon. Not very fast, can't really dodge too easily. The charge up of her skulls, that takes quite a bit of time, because you gotta have all her upgrades, of course. And then, so because of that very high risk, high reward character, I think easily is probably a top pick. Very difficult, great reward though. I think is very easily could go here. Next on my board, I think I got easily Ghost Roaster. Ghost Roaster's got a super quick dash with his skull charge. Some pretty basic skips, got Bull Skip, Throne Room Skip. Not too much, but it's a little difficult to hit because his dash is a little wonky. Combat, again, a little iffy, low damage on his Ectoplasm path, only comes in here and there. And charge is a little inconsistent, only hits one time before you have to regroup it. However, because his Ectoplasm gives him invulnerability, Better safe than dead. Go slow, take it easy. Not too difficult, but of course you have to be using this ectoplasm that slowly chips away at you. Very slow, but very safe. You got the mobility to kind of make up for that. I think Ghost Roaster is probably a very safe top 10 pick. I see him probably going 9. Could go higher, probably could go lower. See him kind of in the middle here. I think he's very safe. That's about it for him as we go on to our final top 10 pick, which would be Pop Fizz. So I got Pop Fizz probably as the late top 10 pick. Definitely a first round pick because he's got aggro. Now that makes his difficulty a little lower. Probably, these numbers are not accurate at all. Just kind of a visual, but definitely not accurate. Pop Fizz isn't the fastest character out by himself, but his combat definitely makes up for it with his potion combos. He's got some pretty basic skips with the Beast Path, getting Throne Room, and a couple others, such as Gate Skip and 4, which saves a lot of time. And then he also has his potions, which he can throw up on ledges, which helps a lot with a couple fights. I think he's a very safe top 10 pick with some very good DPS along with aggro. Not the easiest character, of course. Definitely not the hardest. But I think he's a very safe top 10 pick. So 11th overall, I've got Gilgrunt here. So Gilgrunt actually is a pretty fast character, as he's got a similar speed glitch to Whirlwind with his water jetpack. The only thing that'll then cancel that out would be when you attack, but it's very easy to use. He goes super fast with it. Combat and skips, he doesn't have too many skips, but he has like some basic ones. Combat, pretty straightforward, run and shoot. Kind of middle of the pack in terms of difficulty. But he's got a super strong late game, of course, as he's another water Skylander. He's got super consistent damage, even though it's not a lot of damage, but the anchors do a lot for him. And then, of course, he's a bread and butter character. Everybody's played as Gilgrunt. Everybody knows how to use Gilgrunt. I see him definitely easily going in the top first round of the draft. I could also possibly see his water gun path going in late third round, but it'll be hard to tell. Then at 12, we have our first giant Skylander in Swarm. I see Swarm probably going in the first round. My guess would be 12th right now. Swarm is, of course, a giant with a super strong early game. Kind of double-edged sword, though. You get that super strong early game. Easy to, can just step on a couple enemies, but he's got that giant hitbox. You get hit by everything. He's got the health, but you get hit by everything. Now, Swarm, I think, is easily a top 2 giant because he's got mobility as well as range, and he's got that close range stuff. But so he makes up for the hitbox with his speed, but he's also got quite a few skips. Not many giants have that many skips. He's got all the giant skips as well, and then he's got a couple of his own. We can kind of clip through some stuff, like in Chapter 7, among other things. And I easily see Swarm probably being a first-round pick. So immediately after Swarm, I think we get our second giant character in Hothead here. I see him going probably top 13, definitely first-round pick. He's, of course, the giant Sunburn, as he's got a similar attack in the Flamethrower, and then he's also got the goo. But he's, again, got that giant double-edged sword, big hitbox, a lot of health, strong early game, gets hit by a lot of stuff, takes a lot of damage. He's got a couple of decent skips. He's got pretty solid combat, not as fast as Swarm. He's got the motorcycle, but I think Swarm's flight is a little faster, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Of course, a giant, so he's not the easiest character to play with, but he probably is a safe pick, given how deep this draft will probably be. It's super top heavy, and you kind of just pick your favorites. I can easily see Hothead being a first round pick here. So to close out our first round here, and being the last pick in the first round, going 14th, I think, would probably have to be Spyro here. Now, Spyro has very high risk, high reward in terms of skips. He has tilts like Whirlwind, except they're a lot less consistent. Whirlwind is super easy to do tilts and skips with, but like many flying characters, Spyro can get sideways or whatever, but it's a lot harder for him to then get up. He can get up, but it's much more difficult than, say, a Whirlwind, or honestly, Whirlwind's kind of the only answer there. He's got a dash, so his speed is going to be very consistent. He's also got flight if he can't dash, so he's got lots of mobility. combat, his DPS isn't the highest, so he kind of lacks in that department. But hopefully you can kind of choose and pick out your skips to try and dodge most of the major fights there. I still think he's definitely a very, very safe pick, as he's of course bread and butter starter pack character who hasn't played a Spyro. Everyone has, maybe not UNM, but very, very safe pick here, I think. So to close out the characters I made a slide for is Flameslinger. Felt like I had to make one for him because he is the fastest character in the game based off speed and his dash with his WoW pow. It's not even close. He's the fastest character just straight up. He's got 2 solid paths. One, I think the bottom path is pretty sure better. Top path isn't awful, but bottom path I think is the preferred one. Kind of a glass cannon, not too much health, but his speed should help you do most things. Combat, he's pretty solid in combat. This third attack where he does the lob arrows that kind of hit an area effect, that's pretty solid. And then of course he's got the run in a circle, big explosion damage. I think he's easily early second round. I probably have him going 15 on the wraparound, so somebody gets Spyro Flameslinger. I think that's pretty solid if you ask me. And so yeah, that kind of ends off the characters that I kind of made something for. So to kind of close this off here are some other characters I think are probably going to be second round, maybe first round sleeper picks. So first I got Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom's got really good aggro, decent on both paths, easy second round projection. The babies do a lot of damage. Pretty solid primary attack, has flight. Then of course I got Tree Rex, giant, bread and butter giant character. Everybody who plays as Tree Rex knows how he works. I see him either going early second round. I could see him possibly even creeping into the first round, possibly swapping out Swarm or Hothead, if based on preference. I also see Chop Chop possibly going second round early on. His shield WoW power really solid. He can block attacks with it. Good solid dash, decent damage. Just an all-around solid character. I also see Flashwing possibly going second round, possibly even creeping into the first round. Really solid mobility. Really good on both of her paths. They're really quite even. I don't know which one's better. A lot of people don't know which one's better. She's a really solid character in general. And then last, the other character I thought we should mention is a Drill Sergeant. Super easy character. You just run away, use his third attack to kind of lock onto enemies. You can kind of just drive around. Really slow, but you could probably get an almost guaranteed win with him. I usually see him going second round. Somebody takes a harder character, try and get a fast win. Slower character to just get a second win. I could also see Terrafin fitting in there. He's got a very similar playstyle to Drill Sergeant, to run around, shoot. But yeah, I think those are probably the characters we'll see going out, but you never know. Now, just a reminder, the draft will be held August 15th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as long as I believe those are everybody's times, hopefully. And then also, first pool race will be at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturday, August the 22nd, followed by the second pool race would be at 2 p.m. EST. Probably, I'm pretty sure those two times will probably be what they are, give or take an hour, maybe 11 a.m., maybe 1 p.m., maybe 3 p.m., and then August 22nd. Clear your calendars, make sure you can do it. And then, of course, semi-final and final will be held around the same 2 times on Sunday the following day. Thank you very much. Hopefully this is a success. Thank you for watching.